Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and at this point, I think I'm doing my yearly video, at the very least, if not the every 6-month video, of make sure your shelves are stocked. So I'm going to be honest. I went to the store today, and I bought some things for my bucket. Now, if you are new to me or you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain. So I have owned my house for about 8 years. And in those 8 years, we've had numerous times where our future has been a little uncertain. And this is not a political video. Before you click away on me, this is not political. But we've had uncertainty with COVID. We've had a couple of wars that are we going to get pulled into? Are they going to affect us? And now my entire social media right now is just talking about the tariffs, about how the ports are empty, the shelves are going to be empty, yada, yada, yada. Um, Again, we're not talking politics, but this is a great time to talk about the importance of always keeping your shelves stocked. So I was sitting at work today and I was listening to all these different podcasts and all these different people talking about how the tariffs are going to just empty our shelves. It's going to be worse than COVID. And I remember starting to think back through COVID. And when COVID hit, there was a ton of panic buying and people couldn't buy what they needed because we had people that were buying and they were scared and they were buying absolutely everything. Prices went up. There was a lot of back ordered and out of stock items. And now, while we kind of transition into tariffs and we have this trade war with China, we have all these things going on, there's again the possibility that our shelves could be less stocked than they were, if not completely empty. So how do you prepare? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And I want to, again, now that it's on the forefront of most people's minds, I want to come back and I want to talk about the importance of just making sure, not even like you're preparing for the apocalypse, which I do, by the way, but you're just prepared and you have food on your shelves. So I am fully prepared. I have food on my shelves. I have so much food put back. I have buckets put back we're going to talk about. But why I wanted to do this now is we are in an incredibly, incredibly unique time right now. And happened in COVID, which a lot of people took advantage of. And so I want to put this out here too in the front of this video. If you are worried and you don't garden, now is the time to garden. And even if you're not worried, to be completely honest, now is the time to start a garden. If you have any sort of outside space, whether it's a patio, whether it's a full yard, whatever you have, I implore you to start thinking about gardening. Because if you can grow your own fruits and vegetables, even just a little bit, you can offset the costs of your other items. It can be food for your family. It can help you stay in good food, but it can also offset your grocery costs. So if you are not gardening and you haven't thought about doing it this year, or you haven't thought about doing it, period, this is the year that it's imperative that we all garden. Back on World War II, when World War II was going on, the United States did what we called victory gardens. And victory gardens were a way that we could feed ourselves from our own gardens, because a lot of our nation's resources were going over to the troops. So we had victory gardens to help sustain us. We are back to needing to be more responsible for our own food. And that's okay. That's okay. I think this is something that is good for us to be relearning these skills. Gardening and canning is stuff that my grandmother did, and this was how she survived. And now I know, I think 2 people in my life, in my whole life, no, I know 3, in my whole circle, and it's a decent, I'm expanding my circle. I know about 3 people who can, probably 4 or 5 maybe who garden, and the rest think the fact that I can is going to kill them. They are convinced that the things in these jars are going to kill them. And as things get more expensive, and as things political wise, economic wise, as these all kind of get figured out, we need to be responsible for ourselves. And again, that's okay. When you are raising your kids, you're raising them to be adults, to be responsible for themselves. And right now, this is a time where our nation is telling us we got to start being more responsible for ourselves. So again, not at all a political post. I'm not going to entertain any political comments on this post. But all I want to talk about is how you can start preparing, and maybe what are some things that you want to think about. So as you can see behind me, I have a ton of canned food. I also have probably about 80 jars behind you of different desserts like apple pie filling, applesauce, peach preserves. I think that's it. But the rest here is all of my canned goods. And I have some stuff here kind of out of frame you can't really see. But I have probably 400 jars maybe on this shelf. And again, we're at the end of my 2-year rotation. So a couple of videos ago, I talked about how my canning stash did on 2-year rotation. So things like potatoes, I only can every 2 years. That way I can do one massive harvest. Let's say, and this one was in 2023. And then 2024, I can do a smaller harvest that's just for fresh eating potatoes. And then 2025, this year, I can hopefully have a much bigger harvest. So my things, I have some holes, again, because we were at the end of a lot of my 2-year rotation. So I have a lot of canning that I know I'm going to be doing this year. But even so, with this food on this shelf, I have a ton of food that can help sustain me. Here's the thing. I'm broker than a skunk. I don't have any extra money to pay anything extra. So if this trade war with China starts to increase, the way that I eat is going to have to start decreasing, which I'm okay with because I've put all of this stuff back in case I ever need to come back and be more self-sufficient, which is honestly my goal anyway, but to be more reliant on myself. Instead of going out and buying fresh tuna or fresh fish, I come down here, maybe I get some frozen fish from my freezer, or maybe I get some of my canned chicken and we call it a day. Maybe even canned tuna and we call it a day. So this is also a backup in case the prices get to be too high. They get too high, the shelves are empty, I can't find items. I have both my canned items here, and then behind you over here, I'll take you over and I'll show you. We have a ton of other store-bought items. Let's go over here and not knock into anything. Oh, the light in here is terrible. Ooh, okay. But I have pastas. Tons and tons of pastas, gnocchi, tons and tons of pasta. All this is pastas. All of this is pastas. And then over here we have some coffee, Velveeta, crackers. There's a box of chips down there. I have some. Oh, that's terrible lighting. Let me see if I can move you over. Here I have some freeze-dried beef broth. I have freeze-dried beef broth, freeze-dried chicken soup base I just bought from the store so I could have broth. I have freeze-dried gravy mixes. I have a whole basket of chocolate chips and butterscotch chips and white chocolate chips. So I live like this all the time. Oh, here's my bag of grits. If you know me, I can't live without grits. Big ol', how big? 3.5 pound bag of grits. So I keep my house stocked for a store all of the time. The last video that I posted showed my freezer. My house is stocked for with food all the time because I want to use it like a store. But it's also stocked so when these things happen, whether it is this trade war with China that could potentially impact us, or whether it's something like a job loss or an illness or something like that, I have food that my hard-earned money can go to something else and it doesn't need to go to food. I can kind of keep myself in food. So with that said, my first takeaway with this video is going to be, if you're not gardening, think about gardening this year. This might be the year that you heavily garden, or at least you plant a couple of things. Maybe it's only a couple of zucchini and a couple of tomatoes. But every single thing that you grow and you consume is something that you're not having to buy. Whether it's you eat tomatoes raw on salads or you preserve them into tomato sauce. It's something that you're not having to buy. You are able to grow it yourself. And there are so many ways that you can garden, whether you're actually putting things in the ground or you're growing in pots. The key to pots and raised bed gardening is what I think a lot of people might try to do, is that the key to that is keep it watered and think about nutrients. You want to make sure when you have something in a pot that you are not only keeping it water because it dries out a lot faster than in the ground, and you are feeding it nutrients every 2 to 3 weeks, because things in a pot will wash a lot of your nutrients away. So you just want to make sure that you're up on that feed-in cycle. But you can grow a ton of food in literally, I've seen these posts where you can grow them in buckets. These buckets in the sun will start to break down. you have to buy the buckets, and that I think these buckets are $4 a piece right now. So again, is it the best way to go? I don't know. But if it's your only option, growing food is better than not growing food. And so when I see a ton of people that are scared, I see a ton of people that are freaking out, start thinking about gardening. And if you can't garden, if you're in an apartment or a condo and you're not able to garden, think of those farmers markets. Think of those farmers markets. Buy produce now. Go to your grocery store and maybe buy a little bit of produce now and start stocking it up. Or again, here's what I did. I went to the grocery store and I bought a couple of things just to put back. Again, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. This is not panic buying. This is not fear. I'm not scared. I just want to make sure that I can live in as much relative comfort as I'm accustomed to. And I'm accustomed to a lot of comfort. I want to make sure that I'm as comfortable as possible. And as these prices go up, and they're going to go up for a little bit of time, and then hopefully they come back down again. But as they go up, it may be that I can't afford to buy everything that I want to buy. And the little bit of money that I have may need to go to other things. So it may come to the point where I need to break into some of my stores. I'm going to talk about that next. And start eating it. But that's what these stores are here for. I have these stores here in case times get rough. And what that rough means, times get rough, that could be anything. That could be a natural disaster. That could be a political issue. That could just be a personal issue with me. It doesn't matter. But what matters is I rest easy at night. I'm not concerned about the tariffs. I'm not worried about our future because I know that me and mine are taken care of. And that's what we need to be set in our minds to, is making sure that you and yours are prepared for whatever you need, whatever you may need to live in as much comfort as possible. And when you start doing that, all of the things that you can write off as in case the apocalypse happens, it's fantastic. I buy books, I buy games, because you never know. If the apocalypse happens, we have games. So a lot of things can be written off when you adopt that mindset. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that I have. So obviously this is my Canon section. I eat off of this all the time. I've done other videos showing all of my things. If you've seen those videos, I'm just kind of going to repeat the same thing again. But other things you can do. I was on TikTok today, and bad habit. I'm trying to break that habit because it's terrible. But The Simpsons have predicted like a massive earthquake to happen today. It's lovely. It's a whole thing. Anywho, I went down that rabbit hole, and then there was another prediction from somebody that the world is going to end in 2037. So that was exciting to find out. I was pleasantly surprised to find out we have 12 more years of life left. But no matter what happens, I have what I call my long-term storage. And again, this is in case something happens, catastrophic. I'm talking World War II. And again, I'm not doing World War III. I meant going back to World War II when people over in Europe ran out of food. They didn't have food. They weren't prepared for any of the situation because who knew it was going to happen? But now looking back and seeing history and seeing how other people struggled through these hard times, again, I am just trying to prepare my little corner of the world so that I can ride through these hard times. And some people say you shouldn't broadcast what you have because people will come find it. If anything happens, I'm not staying here. I have a backup plan. I am leaving here with all of my stuff. So in case you're worried, don't worry, we're good. Anywho, so again, not that I honestly expect anything bad to happen, but hindsight's always 2020. And it helps me sleep at night knowing that I'm prepared. So I have this bucket here. This is my first bucket. And this bucket has freeze-dried meals in it. I think I like counting these. It feels fun to count them. I think I have about 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. 11 freeze-dried meals. I honestly stopped buying these for a little bit because I just did. But I'm going to start buying them again and just kind of fill up this bucket. And then again, worst case scenario, let's say I get trapped here. This is one thing I can just grab and go. I can grab my bucket, grab my kettle for hot water, grab and go. Maybe grab a couple other things, but you know what I mean. I have them in here. We're ready to transport them if needed. And then again, it keeps the mice out from them, keeps them contained. So I have these, and I really like having these as just, again, an emergency source of food. Here in my other bucket is more of an emergency short-term situation. So if the trade war were to get too bad that our shelves would be empty, if I were to perhaps lose my job and whatever's going on in this world, if food becomes scarce, move my hair away from the microphone, this bucket is one of the starts of how, oopsie, I survive it. Oh, hold on, my buckets are all over the place. This bucket is here how I survive it. Now, again, I also have 5-gallon buckets of flour and sugar. I have another tote under the stairs I call my apocalypse bin, but it has 50 pounds of flour and sugar and pastas and spices and salt and peppers and all that stuff. So I put that away during COVID. I put this big tote that is like a walk-in pantry. And again, if I need to leave for an emergency, if I have a vehicle that I can drive, I'm grabbing that tote. That's the only thing I can get out. That's the only thing I can get out. But it has so much food in it. It has a bucket, or I have a bucket of tallow sitting with it. I have Crisco for fire, for light. I have ways to purify water. So I have this emergency tote if I would need to, again, break into that. And if things get bad, that emergency tote would get broken into. Again, it has flour, salt, water, pasta, coffee, dark cocoa powder. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. I said sugar, brown sugar, whole bunch of stuff. And again, you ask why, maybe you ask why I have cocoa powder in it, because I want to live in as much relative comfort as I can. I have tea bags and I have hot chocolate mix. I got big tubs of hot chocolate mix because, again, I want to live in as much relative comfort as I can. I also have freeze-dried milk in there. So we have a lot of food in that tub. Again, if things get bad, something happens, I can break into that tote. So this is the bucket, though, that I'm going to start working on and focusing some more attention on now. Again, just to keep me in relative comfort. So I got this, and most of this is honestly from the dollar store. I have some cookies, some boxes of cookies. I got these within the last 6 months. Maybe not quite that long ago, or that recently. Oh yeah, these were Best by 11/22/2024. Even if they go stale, they're not open, but even if they go stale, a cookie, when you don't have a cookie, when you haven't had a cookie in a long time, is still a cookie. And my thought is, even if they go completely stale, rock solid, you can't bite it, if I could crush it, I could turn it into like a pie crust. Because again, Apocalypse Caitlin, or Broke World Ending Caitlin, Tariff Trade Caitlin, she wants to bake. So I thought these could be good for maybe some pie crust if they go so stale that I can't even enjoy them at all. I also have some of these, again, all from the dollar store. Hungry Jack hash brown potatoes. You just add hot water and you have hash browns. So if we have eggs, I do have freeze-dried eggs. Here's a quick and easy breakfast. I do have some freeze-dried meals that are already breakfasts in the other bucket, but again, these are, again, nice to have on hand. So I only have 2. I'm not trying to prep for the end of times to make myself last for 50 years after the end of time. I'm not trying to live forever, but I just want to get through, because whatever is going to happen is not going to be like World War II. It wasn't forever. It was a period of time. It was instability for 5 years. I think it was 5 years for us, or about 5 years for us. But it ended. And so I'm just trying to kind of get enough back that I could last for a while before I'm really struggling and really worried about where my next meal is going to come from. So keep that in mind. I'm not going out and buying a ton. I'm just buying some things to help future me, if needed, eat better meals. Also from the dollar store, I got some gravy mixes. This was before I bought my freeze-dried gravy mixes, but again, they're $1.25, a great resource. Brown gravy, chicken gravy, and country gravy mix. On biscuits and gravy, on some meats, $1.25. You can't really beat that. And again, it just gives you a little bit more flavor. I also got some manwich sauce. At the very least, I thought if I ran out of meat, I could put this on rice or pasta, and it would be better than eating like bark. So I got a couple jars of manwich sauce. I got some cans of corned beef hash. Again, for a quick and easy meal, got a couple cans of them. A jar of tomato paste. I actually had this in my cupboard, but I make my own tomato paste now. So I was like, let's just bring it down here and we'll throw it in here. I have a jar of spam. Well, not spam. This is not spam. This is a jar of corned beef. I need to get more of these. I actually broke in and ate one because I wanted a Reuben for St. Patty's Day, and I didn't want to go to the store. So I came down, grabbed this, and ate that. But I want to get another can of this. And then I have 2 cans of whole beets because I bought these before I started growing my own beets. And I'm like, well, let's throw them in here. And then I have a lot of rice and a lot of beans. I have multiple bags down here of, it looks like I have, how big is this? I have 3 of these. I think this is 1 pound. This is 2 pounds. So 2, 4, 6 pounds of rice. I just got a little bit more. And I got a lot of northern beans here. Northern beans, kidney beans. I know I have some more beans up there, so I have lots of beans. So rice and beans are definitely things that you can make go a long way, and they're cheap. So stock up on them. Make sure you have some of that in your pantry. That's going to go far for you. So let's kind of get this stuff put back in here, and then I'll show you the new stuff I bought today. Because again, I just want to eat in comfort. So today, then back to the dollar store, I bought some of these Knorr pasta sides. I do love these. I don't allow myself to eat them anymore. My mom sometimes makes them for me, and I love them. I don't really like myself to eat them anymore because I try not to eat processed things. Like I try to make everything from scratch. And this does say no artificial flavors or preservatives. So I might need to go back and look at the ingredients here. See, it has sunflower oil. That's still not good. I don't know honestly all this stuff is, but it has sunflower oil, so it's still not great. But I don't think it looks terrible. So anyhow, we might have to look at these again. But I got these because all I need is some hot water. They'll last in these bags for a very, very long time. All they need is hot water, and you have a ready-made side. Then I also got the same thing, chicken flavor noodles. I have a whole bunch of rice ones over there that I got as a housewarming gift 8 years ago. They have a Best By date, I'm sure, but again, if I'm broke and hungry, they're going to taste delicious. So I got some of these, again, just to stay warm. Not stay warm. Just to stay fed. And then they had these. So I got I got 2 of these. A Spanish style rice. You just cook in the bag. You can microwave it. But of course, in case the apocalypse happens, I don't have a microwave, hot water. That's fine. I got 2 of those. So I thought that would be yummy. Oh, and then I got 3 of the fettuccines and chicken sauce. I do love these. I think these are so good. So we'll stuck that in there. And then, did I get anything else? Oh, I did. I got more rice, and more beans. I got 1 bag of jasmine, 1 bag of 2 bags of jasmine, and 1 bag of long grain rice. I gotta get a different bucket. I'm out of my bucket. But again, I'm not panic buying. I'm not scared. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not scared. I'm not concerned. I am not losing sleep at night. I'm not checking the news. I'm not watching the news. God has a plan for our country. God has a plan for us as people. And I trust in my God, and I put in my faith in God. And my gut feels like God has led me to just make sure that I am going to be fed, and I am going to. We all know when I get hungry, I'm not nice. My belly's rumbling now. I'm ready for lunch now or for dinner now. So again, this is just to help alleviate future stress, future pain. Whether it's the shelves are empty and there's nothing there and we're struggling to find the food, or if the prices get so high that we're struggling to pay those prices. This is not an endless solution, obviously. This bucket of food is not going to fill me for very long. I'm going to go through it relatively quickly. But it's something. And it's always nice to have kind of just that cushion, that safety net, kind of help you move forward until something changes. So, and again, I have my pasta over on the shelf, but I need to get another bucket. So I'm going to start filling another bucket because this one is full. But I just want to thank you guys for coming along. Thinking positively. This is, again, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm not scared. This isn't a political post. I don't want to talk about anyone's opinion on this because that never goes well. I just want to encourage you. This is the time to start thinking about being more sustainable for yourself. Putting a garden in. Thinking about buying produce from a farmer's market this year and processing it into canned food or freezing it into freezer meals. Start buying some things just here and there to help you build up a stock so that if there are disruptions in our food supply, we can withstand and weather those disruptions. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.